What's up? What's up? What's happening? I'm just getting off work not that long ago, getting myself ready to head back out, fulfill some gym obligations. And I had the live feeds on, I want to say from around maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock. And every 30 seconds to 45 seconds, it seemed, into a conversation, it kept cutting off. They kept giving us the be right back screen. The first week before everything happened with Luke and Luke's elimination and subsequent couple of days that they stopped showing us feeds, it was all right at that time. We watched hours and hours of gameplay talk. Yes, it was repetitive. Yes, it was boring at times. Yes, it was just really lengthy conversations about nothing, about game, but they also were not saying anything new. They were just looping everything over and over, right? And that could be annoying at times, but nothing is more annoying than not even being able to see the conversation. They have been censoring the hell out of these live feeds. I basically became a live feeder last year, as some of y'all know, because even though I saw some of the BB23 live feeds, it was not like I was watching them religiously, day and night like I was for season 24, right? So season 24, I wasn't that bad at the beginning. The live feeds gave us pretty good amount of coverage and everything, but it was the split house twist and the wall yeller thing happened after Michael spoke about Kyle and Cookout 2.0 and all that stuff. We had a couple of incidents in the house where the feeds went down. But I was thinking and I was hoping that after the I was about to call him Kyle. After the Luke incident this year, I was thinking to myself, okay, they're protecting themselves specifically because of the Luke thing. And after Luke is out of the house and those conversations die, we're going to go back to business as usual. Now, it feels like they'll start a conversation, say two words. We're on the We'll Be Right Back. They'll say two more words. Then we're watching the cat. And then they say a couple more words. And then we're watching the bunnies. This is irritating to me. So when I see these websites that have these continuously flowing updates, I'm like, kudos to y'all because I don't have the patience for that. And then you'll be watching something because they'll be whispering, right? So you turn up the volume on your TV or your computer or whatever to hear it. And you hear them, you're starting to catch what they're saying. Then the We'll Be Right Back screen comes on and it's dun 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 dun. And it's just like wake up the whole house. That part. But anyways, into the little snippets of what I saw, what I was noticing was that not Jag, Blue and Jared were real cuddly and snuggly today. They're very close. They were talking about relation. They were talking about, how they see themselves potentially relating to one another when they leave the house. Uh, to do a long distance relationship, and you plan to go back to New York City. I'm not sure where Jared lives, but he said I'm planning on going back home. But he was kind of like, I'd be kicking myself if I take advantage of this opportunity that we have in the house. But then he was also saying, well, they were both kind of saying, we'll see how things are when it dwindles down, like when we're still here and there's less people, because right now there's like too many people around and too much game going on for them to want to take that time to explore. They showed Jared having conversations with Riley, which kept also getting cut off every couple of seconds. And I don't know if this is true or not because I can't tell what is true and what is not from what Jared says. I tell you guys, Jared is like used car salesman to me because he can sell anything. Like he's a salesman in his conversations. So he was telling her that he has four people. I might get the four people wrong because I don't have notes or anything, but I think that he said Riley has himself, Corey, Jag, and Blue. I believe that's what he was saying to Riley. That he side and secure some other votes. Now, I am not sure because I haven't really seen anything to indicate that. I know Haisam definitely wants Riley out, but I haven't seen anything to really indicate that Riley has a significant amount of numbers. I mean, I think that she probably have max vote. Um, the vote that she would have would be Cameron, but Cameron's on the block next to her, so that takes his vote out of the equation. Uh, Probably, well, I'm not sure about Jag. I want to say that she would have Jag's vote and Blue's vote, but my thing with Jag and Blue is that I've heard them having conversations recently where they're talking about, like for Jag, I know that Jag was like, I love Riley. I'd like to be a final two with her. I connect with her, all that stuff. But he is very good at the skill I'm seeing of pivoting. He's not the one that's like, I'm going to ride this alliance into the ground. He's the one who's like, I'm going to ride this alliance as long as it serves me. And that's something that I remember Jared actually said. I forgot who he said it to. I want to say he said it to Blue last week, where he was like, yeah, we're talking all these different alliances and, but, oh, he said it to Kirsten. I remember clearly now. He was having a conversation with Kirsten in the bathroom and he was like, dude, bro, dude, bro. Bro, like, dude, yeah, so like I'm in this alliance and this one and that one, but I'm not tied to any alliance permanently, is basically what he was saying to Kirsten. He was basically like, I am willing to work with an alliance as long as it's beneficial to me and as long as it's beneficial to you. But as soon as it does not benefit me, I'm out of there. Well, we all as viewers know that he's basically just loyal to his mom. Now, in terms of the Izzy parts, I've been trying to pick up. Some people are saying that Izzy is getting sloppy. Some people are saying Sari is getting sloppy. I don't know. I haven't seen enough. But I think that this is an overall really sloppy season. I think the person. So when I did my interview with Hannah, I think she told me that. I want to say that she told me that Jag. I'd have to watch it again. I did two interviews in one day, so I can't remember everything. I know for sure that Turner told me that Jag was in his top three. But Jag, to me, even though he's not on the majority side at present, I think he's doing a very good job of damage control. And I think he does a very good job with social management because he doesn't get in every room talking. He kind of observes and listens and then gets himself into these smaller subgroups where he can gather intel and kind of try to flip the script. Like he's not somebody who is going the Riley route and crying to anybody. He's just like, these are the facts. This is what's going on. This is what I can see. And I'm not married to this one gameplay idea that I had when I started. This was useful for me at the time, but now I see what people are doing, and I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out something else, figure out something new, because that's the name of the game with Big Brother is adaptability. The issue though is when you latch onto the wrong horse, and that horse for him was Riley. And hey, Riley seemed like a good choice, to be honest. I mean, for him, I would not necessarily have picked Riley, but who knew that she would break under the pressure of the game that early? Based on how she presented early, it seemed like she was a good person to work with, but that was obviously proven wrong. Hi, Kamisha, and hi, Tammy. How are y'all ladies doing this evening? Yeah, but it's really annoying. I'm picking up as much as I can out of the live feeds, but shout out to the Twitter pages. Hey, I saw, I mean, I didn't see the live, but that's what's up. That's what's up. If you're doing it live, let me know when you do it and I'll check it out. But if you're doing it recorded, I'll check it out whenever you post it. But that's dope. That's dope that you already got a confirmation from Kirsten. We'd all love to hear from her and hear how she's doing. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. That's cool. What was her live on? Oh, you said it was on Instagram. That's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah, shout out to Kamisha Review. I shouted her out in my other video that I did a week ago, maybe it was, where I talked about how hard of a time I was having. It was her suggestion to make this channel, and I talked about how hard of a time I was having at the beginning with gaining traction and gaining subscribers. But then she was telling me, like, you got to put the same amount of energy into this channel that you did into your original channel. And that was really a big piece of advice for me, because I was just putting up an occasional video here and there, and an occasional post here and there, and just thinking it was gonna pick up steam on its own, not remembering that my music and mental health channel started similarly, where nobody was looking at it, and then all of a sudden it just picked up. So everything that you do takes dedication. There's nothing that you just snap your fingers. The only way that happens is if you become a person that goes into the Big Brother house or one of these TV shows. Then you can come back out and have thousands of people just following you just because I'm Mark from Big Brother. But if you are just the average, everyday, average Joe that, wakes up, goes to a 9 to 5, comes home and does regular stuff, it's going to take an extraordinary effort for people to notice what you're doing on an online platform. Hey, I haven't seen you on here, I don't know since how long. How are you doing, Danny? Yeah, and just as an update too, for those who did not hear my earlier announcement, is that my live feed streaming days are over. I really do enjoy going online and watching the streams with y'all. That makes the streams more fun for me. It's a hobby really, but a stream of mine got taken down, I think earlier this week or maybe last week, and Did you not see this channel? Because I know a lot of people told me that they didn't know that I switched to using this channel. But yeah, so they took down this video. They gave me a copyright, not a copyright strike. I still have never received a copyright strike. A copyright claim. So for those who know anything or have used YouTube before, a copyright claim is different from a copyright strike. A strike is bad because they can take your whole channel away and they can temporarily stop you from posting anything at all. Lives, community, regular video posts, anything. They can prevent you from doing that. A copyright claim is just that somebody claimed your footage and either your video gets blocked to where nobody can see it except for you, or the video stays online and but you don't get the money or the revenue from it. The other person, the original content creator, gets it. So this was the first time I got an actual email warning that was like, we've been looking at your page after the last copyright claim, and there's been multiple copyright claims. So therefore, this is your first warning. Like, we're giving you one warning, and if we see more of this, it's going to turn into a strike. So I was like, all right, you don't got to tell me twice because I put in too much work to let my page get struck right now. I have 3 interviews that I've already done that have yet to drop. I have this Hannah interview that I just dropped yesterday afternoon. I have a lot of content that I have yet to even put on this page yet that I'm still trying to put on this page, and I'm trying to build up this page. So I'm not even gonna entertain that risk of doing that. So from here on out, y'all are still gonna get me for my recaps. Y'all are still gonna get me for my feeds. Somebody suggested to me even to have the feed on, not facing the camera or anything, but just to where I can see it, and then to just give the play-by-play of the conversations that are currently happening. So that's an idea that I might do. Like, I might sit down, have the feed on in the background, and just tell you guys, like, hey, right now Riley is talking to this one. This is what they're talking about. This is what they're saying. This is the strategy going on. I might do something like that. But in terms of showing the live feed on the screen for them to scan and be like, your material matched this and this and that, nah. Oh, I knew I was never like a super fan. I've always told everybody that I'm a new Big Brother fan. I had no clue that Hannah started watching Big Brother 5 minutes before she went. I mean, 5 months before she went on Big Brother. I have watched a decent amount of Hannah interviews, and I don't recall ever hearing her say, like, I just binged watched the show right before I went on there. Because I thought that Hannah had been watching it since she was a child, and it was like, it was a lifelong dream of mine to get on the show. She didn't even watch or like the show, and then she just has this supercomputer brain that just inputted a bunch of seasons at once, and she got on there and she just had the strategy down like she had been watching this for years. So no, she finished her master's and she started med school, I think last week. Whatever week Big Brother started, she started med school that same week. Big Brother started on a Wednesday and she had her first class that same Wednesday morning. She had the class Wednesday morning in Washington D.C. She left New York to go to Washington D.C. for her class, and then went to her class, and then came back for the Big Brother premiere party to support Ozzy. She said in the interview with me that she went 96 hours without sleep. I barely slept that week. I'm not gonna lie. So I barely slept that week myself, but she slept less than me. I must have slept about 6 hours in that same 72-hour span. But yeah, she's 23. She's 23. She was 21 on the show. She's 23 right now. And the first time I talked to her, I was trying to express this in conversation, but I feel like sometimes I know what I'm saying in my head, but it doesn't sound it doesn't sound like what I'm trying to say. But I was trying to compliment her and tell her like normally if I'm talking to a 23-year-old, I'm very aware that they're 23. And in talk the first time I ever spoke to her, the way the conversation went, it was kind of like I'm forgetting that you're 23, but I have to think about it and remember, like, oh yeah, you are actually 23 years old. You are wise beyond your years. You're wise beyond your years, as you could even see in that conversation too. You know, like it was funny too that I was thinking. I didn't say this in the interview, but I was thinking like her cast. She had Tiffany, who was like twice her age. She had Big D, who was I don't know, 28, 29. They were all in like the 28 to 30 range. Tiffany was in her early 40s, and they were all fighting with each other. And she was the one who they were coming to, who was the voice of reason. When usually, obviously, it's the other way around. It's the 21-year-old that comes in there and they're sparking all these different fights. And then the older ones are like, calm down, calm down. It's not that serious. It is not that serious. But yeah, they were all the petty ones. And she was the one who they were coming to and talking to, and yeah, that was pretty cool. But thanks for the compliment, Cameron. I spoke to her before I was doing interviews. I had done one interview at the time that I spoke to her, and I was just asking her for some tips because she had started doing her interviews on that Secret Alliance podcast that she does now. I don't think they had started the Royalty podcast yet at that time. And I'm talking to her, she's giving me all these different tips. And then I think in my head, she's 22 at that time. I'm like, she's 22 years old. I'm getting all this game about all this different like business stuff from this 22-year-old. And I basically just had that same experience with Turner. I had this pretty good conversation with Turner, which I'm going to post up soon. And he gave me well, the business tips were not all on camera, but he gave me a lot of business tips. And I'm like, but also, one thing that you start to learn, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm 35, so I'm also not Gen Z. So there's things that I know from my upbringing, from my college background, that I just learned in the world, personal experience and life experiences, right? There's a lot of things that a Gen Z person knows that I don't know. Because he was telling me stuff about YouTube thumbnails, hashtags, titles, the way that you title your content. There was a lot of things he was telling me that he's an expert on because this is the world that he grew up in. I did not grow up in the world as it is now. So never dismiss somebody who's 10, 15 years younger than you because you think, hey, they have half my life experience, so what do they know? You'd be surprised. The cookout, or yeah, And when I watched, I'm responding to Rich's comment. When I watched back her season to be able to figure out some questions to ask her, there was this particular part where Tiffany and Azah were arguing, and Azah was like, "What?" Basically, like, "Why do you care about what Hannah has to say? I always thought of it as the 5+1." And I'm like, I know that had to feel some type of way. I know she was very mature about it and kept saying nobody has to apologize, but we're all human. So I feel like in the moment, she did feel something. She had to feel something. But, shout out to her maturity for responding to it very, very well. But the 5+1, and she's just as much of a black person as Kyland. Kyland is half and half as well, half black and half Mexican. What do we got? It's pretty cool. It's funny because Turner is just cool. I didn't like Hannah. I became cool with because I met her multiple times. Like I've spoken to her a few times, and followed her YouTube stuff that she does, commented on a lot of things. So I'm familiar with her. I would consider her like a friendly acquaintance. Turner, I just met. Like a week ago at the Big Brother premiere. When I went to say hi to him, he was like, "Yo, bro, you look like Gideon." And that was basically how our conversation started. And then when I saw him the next day, I was like, "Yo, what's up? It's Gideon," and he was laughing, and his fiance was laughing, and I hit him up via Cameo, which I actually said in the interview with him that you guys are gonna see. And I asked him to help me with this like little prank that I was gonna do with Hannah, and he was like, "Oh, sure, like give me the details, give me the creative direction, and I'll figure something out, and you can send it to her." So after I did it, I sent him the clip. He was like, "That's hilarious." And then I said, "Hey, I would like to do an interview with you too." He was like, "Sure, dude. Like I always support content creators, and you seem like a good guy, cool guy. So how about right now?" And it was like 10:30 at night or something like that. And I had nothing prepared for him. And you guys know that I love to prepare. You guys know that I love to prepare. And no, he actually didn't. Not to say that he doesn't smoke, but he wasn't there. Does she have her mom or her dad's? I don't know. I don't really know what her mom and dad look like. I mean, I think I saw them a second on the show, like in the intro clip, but I wasn't looking that closely to know. He used to run a consignment shop, and then he sold the shop. Now he does furniture, and they live in this big loft. I think they live out in Rhode Island or something. Turner used to work with Mr. Beast. Yeah. Yeah, but I do gotta run. What day is it today? Today is Monday, so there's no show until Wednesday. But if I'm able to catch up on more like live feed stuff, I might do the thing that I was telling you guys earlier, where I would have the live feed on in my background, and you guys would just see me, and I'm letting you know what I'm currently seeing on the live feed, and you guys can follow along on Pluto or Paramount Plus or whatever y'all watch it on. And I didn't know Loft meant 20-inch ceiling. I don't know. Yeah, so I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great evening.